Now that we've had our fun with paradoxical outcome, let's Mardu something different, shall we? This is Paulo Vitor Dama de Rosa's Mardu Vehicles, which he used to top 8 Pro Tour Aether Revolt. This deck is highly fast and very potent. Let's see what it can do. Here's the match with Mardu Vehicles, and we're on the draw, but this hand is not a keep. Basically have mono 3-drops, and by basically I mean we do have mono 3-drops with 2 lands that can't even produce one of our colors. So yeah, let's go down to 6, see what we can do. And yeah, this looks like a keep. It's a little bit slow, and by that I mean it has a lot of lands, but turn 1 Thraben Inspector, turn 2 Clue, turn 3 Dapala. That seems fine to me. We're going to keep this and see what we crew. Ooh! Well, now we have an even better curve. Turn 1 Thraben Inspector, turn 2 Heart of Kiran, turn 3 Dapala, crew it, attack for 5, maybe even 6? Seems like a keeper to me. Alright. Concealed Courtyard to start for our opponent means we might be facing a mirror match of sorts, but we'll see. Really depends on what their second land is, or what the first creature or permanent they play is. Either hub could still mean they're playing Mardu Vehicles. Some of the lists run upwards of 2 or 3 of those. And yeah, Veteran Motorist on turn 2. Pretty telling of a vehicles list, of course. Let's see what they do. Scry 1 to the top and 1 to the bottom. Alright. Cultivator's Caravan, the draw for us here. And yep, I'm happy just to play the Heart of Kiran and pass. I think it's better to leave back the Thraben Inspector as a blocker, potentially. Opponent's not going to want to trade their 3-1, which pumps up their vehicles, for my 1-2, which, well, not so good. Alright, there's an Aether Sphere Harvester from the opponent. And that's a nice one, of course. 3-5, get some energy. Crew only 1, and you can gain some life with it as well. Another decent draw here for us. Yep, let's just go with the Dapala plan. And I can either crew the heart and attack for 5 or just pass here. The problem with passing is that if the opponent has a removal spell in their hand, like Unlicensed Disintegration, they get to kill my Heart of Kiran, which is pretty poor for us. So I think I'll just go on the aggro plan here and attack for 5. Oh, shoot, this is... Well, this is already a huge mistake because they get to crew the Harvester and make it a 4-6. Alright, well, punished on my end. I guess I should have just passed. Let's see if the opponent makes the block. Alright, I got a little bit lucky there because I definitely made a mistake. With me having no mana up, the opponent could have crewed the Harvester and just simply bounced off my Heart of Kiran, so got a little bit lucky there. The question is, was that attack correct, knowing that the opponent could make a good block? Because I wasn't planning on blocking with the Heart of Kiran anyways? And now that the opponent's not crewing their Harvester, not even with the Inspector, I'm a little bit suspicious of what's going on here. Alright, another Heart of Kiran. Of course, this is a legendary vehicle, so not much benefit doing that. I think we're just going to play the Shambling Vent, play out the Cultivator's Caravan, and pass. Now that they have open mana, I'm not in a rush to do anything here, and I can always use Dapala on their turn. If they just pass again to crew one of my vehicles and take a look at the top card of my library with Dapala's ability. Get some slight value there. This is... I expect you're going to see this matchup a lot in Standard nowadays. 6 of the top 8 decks at Pro Tour Aether Revolt were Mardu Vehicles, so... Alright, let's crew the Caravan. Tapping Dapala. And we're going to get some value here. Look at the top 1. It was an Unlicensed Disintegration. I would have loved to have drawn that, but now it's on the bottom. But hey. Potential value is better than nothing. Ooh, Gideon here is a very good draw. And in fact, I think we just slam down the Gideon and start producing tokens. Wow. Man, making an emblem is so tempting too. But I think we want the continuous card advantage outlet. And I can just sit back on the Heart of Kiran here. The opponent has played very docile. And I don't mind that because we have multiple cards now that are going to get us ahead of the game. In theory, anyways. All right, Unlicensed Disintegration on Dapala. We are going to crew the Caravan in response. And again, look at the top card. And it was a Heart of Kiran. All right, well, it's a good card not to draw. Given the fact that we will be, well, we already have one on the battlefield and one in our hand. 3 Heart of Kiran, not exactly the draws we wanted. So now all of our vehicles are smaller as well. Although it looks like the opponent might be slightly flooding out. 6 lands is quite a bit, although these decks do run upwards of 23, 24 lands, so not out of the question that we're drawing this many. Notably, they hit Gideon with the Unlicensed Disintegration, which is nice. And now they're actually going to, looks like, crew up the Harvester and attack Gideon. And you know what? I'm actually going to crew the Heart of Kiran here. I don't mind chump blocking. Because we have 2 more in our hand, throwing one away to protect Gideon seems absolutely fine to me. Like, we are flooded on hearts. Alright, so they had to use an additional shock to take care of the Gideon. Again, this is fine. Opponent did not use any energy to gain life, to note. And there's their own Gideon, unfortunately. Alright, well, things are looking kind of bad for us now. Plane's not exactly the nicest of draws. I do get to play a veteran motorist here. Scry some cards. Don't think we want any of those small creatures for now. And then I can crew. And attack both the Knight ally and the Caravan at Gideon. Post-combat, I'll play one of the Heart of Kiran's back out. And I do have this clue that I need to sacrifice eventually, but I think drawing extra cards effectively with the Scry on Veteran Motorist and just getting down the other Heart of Kiran is perfectly fine. Alright, so they chumped the Caravan, and then they traded away the token. Our board position is actually not that bad. I only really need to draw a removal spell, and I think I should be okay. Now, granted, I did bottom one of the disintegrations with the Dapala ability, but we still have 3 more and 3 shocks in the list, which would be very good. Ooh, Pia Nalar from the opponent's a nice one, for sure. That's really nice for the opponent because it gives them the Thopter, which means they can block, or rather chump the Heart of Kiran if they want to. Now, their Harvester already blocks our Heart of Kiran because even though we have a Motorist to make our Heart a 5/5, they have a Motorist as well to make their Harvester a 4/6. Like I mentioned on the attack on turn 3 that I foolishly made. Really, the difference in this game is that the opponent's drawn 2 removal spells and I have not. They've drawn Unlicensed and they've drawn Shock. And I'm over here with, well, nothing. Alright, a Knight Ally token from the Gideon. Let's see if Harvester wants to bash in. Maybe even Gideon. Oh no, Gideon, of course, made the Knight Ally. If Harvester gets crewed up and attacks for 4, that means our Heart of Kiran is going to get chumped by the Thopter to protect Gideon. So it looks like, yeah, they're just going to pass and sit back on their card advantage. I guess we start off by sacking a clue and seeing what we draw. Canal, not exactly the best of draws. And the only thing I can really attack with here is the Cultivator's Caravan, so let's crew that up with the Motorist. Make it a 6/6. And try to attack Gideon. Not looking very good for us right now. From the sideboard, we have, let's see, Chandra, Thalia, and 2 Fatal Push. No, 1 Chandra, 2 Thalia, Heart of Kiran, and 2 Fatal Push. All right, so those won't be bad. Maybe surprisingly that these type of matchups are a little bit more of a grind than you would expect. All right, so the Harvester is getting crewed with their Motorist, which is, again, going to make it a 6 toughness creature. So I imagine they put the Knight Ally and the Harvester in front of it, which is great for us. I love killing the Harvester here. That means our Heart of Kiran is going to do a lot more work. This is a little bit greedy of the opponent. All I would need is a shock for their Knight Ally, and they get punished here because they don't have 4 mana to pump their artifact creature with Pia. Alright, I'll play my land, and I'm just going to pass here. Drawing a card with the clue right now doesn't do anything, and I can feign a trick by holding up open mana right now. Okay, so the opponent just emblemed Gideon. I do like that. For them, rather. I like that as a play for them. Wouldn't be surprised if they have another Gideon here. Yep, makes sense. And now we are banking on the top of our deck. All right, double emblem. Motorist is a 5/3, Pia is a 4/4, Thopter's a 3/3, and the Knight Ally is a 4/4. Things just got crazy. 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. They only have 1 artifact, which is good, which means the Pia can't make something crazy, not block next turn. I'm going to sack the clue now to get a little bit more information. Dapala, okay, that's not terrible. So here I think I'm just going to chump the Motorist and take my beats. The opponent forgot to pump their Thopter. They must have another spell. Oh, they have a Heart of Kiran as well. Okay. That was good. We needed that a while ago, but I'm glad we drew it now. We are on the Dapala and pass plan. So I can make my Heart of Kiran a 6/6. The opponent has a base 6/6 Heart of Kiran, and then they can always tap the Motorist as well to make it a 7/7. And again, the nice thing, and I say nice, but it's not that nice. The nice thing is that we have a backup Heart of Kiran in our hand. If this one just dies. The opponent's in the tank. I mean, I am at 9. There are probably draws for them that would make them think they have lethal. Because I have not represented a removal spell these past, 8 turns. I would have used it by now. So we'll see what the opponent does. And if they somehow just pass, then we get to look at the top 3 cards with Dapala. Put any vehicle or dwarf in our hand. Porthraven Inspector, not a dwarf. All right, Veteran Motorist crews the Heart of Kiran. Heart of Kiran for them is a 7/7. I imagine they're going to go for the flying win. Oh, no, they need another artifact for that. Because I can crew the Heart of Kiran. Um, and they have 2 flying block. No, I guess they could go for the kill. And in fact, they might go for it. They might see the game plan of attacking with their Heart of Kiran. I crew mine. They make it unable to block by sacking their Thopter. And then they double pump their Heart of Kiran. And I go for an Unlicensed Disintegration for a really good blowout if that works. Okay. We'll see what they do. All right, attack, attack. This could be the position that we needed. Oh, I don't like Pia attacking. Okay, well now they're opting to attack with everything, which is almost certainly correct on their end. So let's crew with Dapala. And this might be a little bit telling. Not paying. But this is what I need to go for. Alright, let's block here. Offer the trade on the Pia. And I think we don't need to chump the Knight Ally quite yet. Opponent can also just double pump their Thopter here with Pia. What they should do is just pass priority, yeah, because they currently have lethal on me. I go for my Unlicensed Disintegration. And I would imagine they pump the Thopter at least twice to trade with the Heart. Yep. And again, this is fine, because we have a backup Heart of Kiran. We're not actually in the worst shape now. Yes, we're fighting against a double Gideon emblem, but I traded off for most of their important creatures, which is really nice. Okay. Another veteran motorist, not terrible. Let's play that in crew, or rather scry. Bottom that, I'm going to keep the Thraben Inspector. It's a 1-block chumper, or rather 1-mana chumper that draws me an extra card. We'll play out the Heart of Kiran. And I think we have to just pass here. I can attack for 1. No. The safest play is actually just to pass, because if they have a removal spell, then I fall down to 1 life. And right now I have card advantage in the form of Dapala, so. Alright, they drew another Heart of Kiran, which is, again, a 7/7 with the Veteran Motorist. So I topped a Thraben Inspector, and I need to draw a removal spell now, so I think I have to end up bottoming it with the Dapala. So we'll pay 2. Alright, we bottomed a Shock and an Inspector. It's fine. Spire of Industry. That lets us at least animate the Shambling Vent, but not exactly a great draw for us. We are in rough shape. I need to find another Unlicensed Disintegration, and quickly. Surprisingly, we are kind of close to killing them as well. But this is unfortunate. Unfortunate Chumpsville territory. Okay. Heart in. Let's crew with the Paula. Might as well pay 1 million. Alright. Mountain Shock, Pia, Gideon, Land, Toolcraft, Gideon, and then an Exemplar. We drew 1 card there. When your 5/5 flyer has to chump, you know it's a bad sign. And of course, I can also crew with Veteran Motorist to make it a 6-6, but that doesn't do anything versus their 7-7. There it is! Okay. Can I actually... Oh no, I can't kill the opponent. Of course, they can crew the Heart of Kiran again. Alright, well, we're holding on at the very least. Somehow. Barely. The sad news is that I don't have an artifact, so they're not going to lose 3 life off the unlicensed. But, hey. Not dying is better than dying. Or so I've heard. And of course they're 5-4, which I have to chump block. Alright, Thraben Inspector, get under the bus. Black, red, colorless. Let's disintegrate that heart. And hopefully the opponent doesn't draw anything too relevant. That is also not a relevant draw. I wonder... No, I was going to say, I wonder if I'm supposed to attack with Dapala and pay like 5. But not worth it. Oh, and the opponent has an unlicensed disintegration. Alright, so that's going to be the game then. We'll scoop it up, go to sideboarding, see what we can do for the next game. Where Fatal pushes, Thalia's... I have to imagine Chandra's great here too. Things that are not so good in this matchup. That's a good question. I actually have no idea. I need to cut 5 cards here. I feel like the caravans might not be as necessary. Our mana base is pretty good anyways. Release the Gremlin could be an interesting include. Let's see. It would hit opposing Heart of Kiran. It would hit Scroungers, although that's not that great. It would hit Caravans if they have any. It would hit artifacts from Pia. It's probably okay to bring in Release the Gremlins, although not amazing. I guess maybe I'm bringing in too much removal. Alright, I'm going to cut the Caravans. Look for 3 more cuts here. I don't think I can afford to cut a Heart. If I'm bringing in 2 Fatal Push, I can probably take out a Shock, question mark? That seems like an awkward card to take out, though. Yeah, that's probably not right. And I also don't want to take out Gideon, but left unchecked, it's just game over. Alright, maybe I can shave down on 4s a little bit. Take out 1 Gideon. I will take out that 1 Shock. Now remember, I'm on the play, though, which makes those cards a little bit better. I guess maybe a Heart of Kiran. Sideboarding has never been my strong suit, but I think I'm going to try and run it like this. And let's go to Game 2. Game 2, Mardu Vehicles versus Mardu Vehicles. I'm on the play. And yeah, this hand's fine. Turn 1, Thraben Inspector. Turn 2, Motorist. Scry 2. Turn 3, who knows, because we're going to be scrying. Scrying, baby. We are missing black right now, but that is not the worst case scenario. Going to lead on our Inspiring Vantage since, well, those want to enter the battlefield while you have fewer cards, or fewer lands. P is not a bad draw. And our lovely Thraben Inspector gets to attack into a Toolcraft Exemplar. That feels good. Alright. Motorist. Wow, we kind of want both of those cards, don't we? I wonder if I can get away with bottoming the Concealed Courtyard. I don't need the black source right now. I'm going to bottom the Courtyard, top the Shock. So next turn I can go Scrap Heap, Scroungers, Shock if I want to. Alright. Gonna attack me for 3. No blocks here, obviously. And yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. I think I'm going to play the Scrounger and hold up Shock. I think I like that play a little bit more than Pia, which I can still do next turn and play Needle Spires with. Don't really have to worry about Revolt cards in these decks. That's why I'm not shocking on the main phase. Plus, I might want to kill like a veteran motorist anyways. The nice thing is Toolcraft Exemplar only gets the bonus on their turn, so they cannot crew the Heart of Kiran with the Exemplar by itself on my turn, which is why we're waiting on the shock, or at least another reason why. I think on the draw, I probably bring in the shock again. Yeah, I'm just going to let them happen. If they'd like to crew the Heart of Kiran and attack me for 4, that's fine. Again, we want to kill a bigger threat next turn, rather post-combat. But them playing a non-red source means it's going to be a little bit harder for them to do that. But I think the risk is worth it. Of course, again, I could have just killed the Exemplar with the trigger on the stack, and then they wouldn't have been able to crew the heart and attack me for 4 here, so 4 damage is a lot to just take, but oh, looks like I might have gotten punished. Okay, yeah, we're gonna shock the Exemplar now end of turn since I'm not guaranteed a land and we want to be able to play out Pia. No reason to do anything prior. All right. And with Pia, it's going to be very hard for the opponent to stay on defense this game, because I can sacrifice the clue using Pia's ability, make something unable to block. So if they try to leave back their creatures to crew, it's going to be very hard for them to do so. It's crazy how big a difference this deck does, play versus draw, even in a mirror match. Even in a mirror match. All right. They found the red source. They found an Inventor's Apprentice. So Apprentice can crew the Harvester. Harvester can crew Heart. But it's only the Harvester that we're worried about because it can gain lifelink. Ooh, if that's their only play, that's really good for us. In fact, we want to play this Scrounger out pre-combat. And go to attacks. Attack with everything. And I'm just passing priority here. There's no reason for me to do anything right now. They have to block one of my 3 power creatures. They still take lethal with a pump on one of my artifact creatures. And if they go to crew, then I just make it unblockable. Sky Whaler's Shot? Okay. So that happens. Alright, yeah. Still just passing priority here, because now if I sack the clue and make the Apprentice not able to block, they go to crew the Harvester. If I sack another artifact to make that unable to block, they crew the Heart. And then it's just all bad for us here. I have the option of either dealing 6 to the opponent or playing out the Toolcraft. I think we just let Pia die, and we play out the Toolcraft as another 3 power attacker next turn. But this game could get interesting. It's a lot harder for me now that the Harvester's online. This game could be interesting. So I'm running Paulo Vitor Damo Rosa's version of this deck, which doesn't have the Harvesters, which are kind of great in the mirror. Shambling Vent, okay. So let's crack our clue. Ooh, and we found an unlicensed disintegration. Now that means I get to just pass the turn here, because the opponent's effectively at 6. So they block, take 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm still a little bit short of killing them. They also have 3 mana open and a clue. But they are just dead to unlicensed disintegration by itself. Let's see what they have. All right, Thalia, that's a good one. Now, funny, I'm actually going to target the Inventor's Apprentice with my Unlicensed Disintegration. That way they can't shock their own creature in response. To negate the 3 life loss. It is something that is relevant. I don't know if the opponent's ever had a good chance to attack, though. Not when I've put them under such pressure, so I can understand staying back. Granted, anytime they choose, they can deal quite a bit of damage in the air. I do have a Thopter to block if I want to, but I guess with 1 card in hand, for them, I'm not that worried. Close game, though. Okay, that's not true. This game wasn't close. Last game was a little bit closer, but in any case. All right, let's go for the disintegration on that apprentice, as I was mentioning. And we'll take game 2. So we're going to go to a game 3. We're going to be on the draw. Things are going to get a little bit dicier for us. I'm going to bring in the shock. Actually probably bring in the Heart of Kiran again. I always want to make sure I have one of those. God, it feels so weird taking out Scroungers, but they're kind of gross on the draw. Like, they're only aggro. They're good for crewing the heart, truth be told, but I already have a ton of other ways to do so. I wonder if I can shave another Gideon and shave the Scrounger to bring in the heart and the shock back in. And I really want to bring in Release the Gremlins too, but I just don't know how good this is in the mirror match. So far, every game it's been able to kill like 2 things, which is obviously worth it. I should probably bring this in. Fine, I'll take out a heart and I'll bring in 1 Release the Gremlin. All right, let's go to a game 3, Mardu Vehicles versus Mardu Vehicles. All right, we're revving up our engines for game 3, Vehicles versus Vehicles. We're on the draw, and we're going to keep this hand. It is slightly awkward, but the Scrap Heap Scrounger actually enables all of these Spire of Industries, which is nice. And I get to turn 1 shock if I really want to, which I think I do. I think this is correct. Before it becomes a 2-3 and I can't deal with it very easily. Ooh, and they kept a 1 lander. All right. Well, now we're going to go to pound. To pound. We'll play our Scrounger. That enables our Spires. Next turn I get to go Scrounger plus Toolcraft. Ooh, they hit their 2nd land, though. All right. The game's afoot. So I need to go like this. Oh. Play the Scrounger. Then I can pay 1 life to play the Exemplar. Because you need an artifact for the Spire of Industry to produce colored mana. And I will take my beat here for 3. I'm going to look to be the beatdown player this game. There's the Heart of Kiran from the opponent. Thalia is pretty nice. Pretty nice indeed. Card is very good here. You saw the opponent also played a Thalia last game. Like, their Either Hub now enters tapped. Any creature they play enters tapped. Which means they probably have to leave back the Scrounger to block. By crewing the heart. Oh, darn it. Okay. So they had a shock to kill our Thalia. Sad face there. 2 cards left in opponent's hand. Next turn, Exemplar plus shock. Ooh, are we racing? Oh, looks like the opponent wants to try and race. Yes, Scrounger, I know you're in the graveyard. Thank you very much. Concealed Courtyard. Well, poop. I guess I attack for 6 here. And just play the Toolcraft and pass, honestly. We can Scrap Heap Scrounge from the graveyard instead of shocking. And next turn, I'm probably just going to Heart of, or rather, Gideon and Emblem. Okay, Pia from the opponent. Super greedy if they... Wow, okay. Now the opponent's actually just dead here. Because I take the 4, and I get to shock the Pia right now, which means they cannot crew the Heart of Kiran, and they'll be taking 9 damage. But for good measure, I will play the Gideon. Oh, did I mess up? Oh, shoot. I totally thought they couldn't... They can still block with their Thopter. Oh, no. Oh, no, I punted. I totally punted. I had the win. I just bring back the Scrounger. Oh, wow. Okay. I totally threw this game away. That's on me. Oh, wait. No, what am I talking about? All my creatures are 4 power. Holy moly. I am... Okay. You know what? I made the right play. How did I think that was wrong? Wow. How did I think I was wrong? So, that game, this entire match was played, I think, pretty well. And then the last turn, I kind of just got autopiloted and thought I was going to lose. I tricked myself. Anyways, there's Mardu Vehicles for you. This was Paulo Vitor Damo de Rosa's list. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Even the mirror matches, although aggro matchups are very intricate, lots of different decisions to go through, lots of decision trees. Even in that last game there, instead of shocking the Pia, I could have brought back the Scrap Heap Scrounger, and then shocked the Pia. And that was a win. But shocking the Pia, which means they couldn't crew Heart of Kiran on my turn, and then playing the Gideon and Embleming was also a win. So, interesting stuff there. Thank you guys for tuning in to watch Paulo Vitor Damo de Rosa's Mardu Vehicles Top 8 Pro Tour Aether Revolt deck. Check out the other videos, and thanks for watching this one.